So you want to get involved with a cloud platform, but you don't know which one to pick. In this video, we're going to cover a couple of points that might help you decide which way to go. Now, when I'm talking about the cloud platform, I'm talking about Google Cloud, Microsoft Azure, and Amazon's AWS. Each of these companies respectively have their own pros and cons in terms of the user interface and the services that they offer. AWS has been about for a long time and they know what they're doing. They are brilliant at hosting large-scale applications and they offer a large suite of products and resources that can be leveraged for many different applications. Azure has been around for a long time as well. And obviously being Microsoft, if you come from a Microsoft background, it's going to be the fairly clear go-to. Google Cloud is the new kid on the block, and whilst year on year it has been taking over a bit more of the market, it still remains quite a small portion of it. Google does offer some more powerful data and AI tools on their platform. One of the things to consider when thinking about getting into a cloud platform is the opportunity. Now, obviously, starting from scratch and you just don't know where to go, we can research for days on end and we can watch YouTube videos forever. But at the end of the day, it's going to be your choice in what you enjoy and what you feel comfortable in. And if you have the opportunity to get exposure, that would be kind of a good start. That's a foot in the door. So if your company is currently leveraging a cloud platform, I would encourage you to introduce yourself to the teams that manage the platform and see if you might be able to arrange some shadow sessions. This would give you some real world exposure to the cloud platform and how it is leveraged in a real world environment. Equally, it doesn't have to be somebody that you work with. It doesn't have to be the company. If you happen to have friends or family who work in this environment, there's nothing stopping you going to them and saying, hey, can you spend some time with me and just sort of show me what you would do? Obviously, where appropriate, company data cannot be shared, but there's nothing to say that you can't spend some time and they can just show you the platform, show you how it works, show you roughly what they do on a daily basis. It's getting that exposure and it's getting some understanding that's outside of the the virtual interface you get from just watching a video on YouTube or Udemy. It's about getting a more personal understanding of what they like, what they don't like, and if it would work for you. For me, I was very fortunate. The company I was working for 5 or 6 years ago when I was on help desk, they wanted to look at the opportunity of leveraging NetApp ONTAP on Google Cloud. And it was a brand new service. It was a new platform that they wanted to use. So I threw myself forwards at the opportunity and I studied up, I did my exam, and it was used to gain partner accreditation for the company, and then I was then exposed and using Google Cloud, and that's what I've stuck with for the last 5 years. I have had exposure to AWS and Azure, whether that be through freelance projects, personal projects, to be honest. For me, Google Cloud, I like the UI, I like the way it works, and I like the way it interacts with Terraform. And the feedback from Terraform when resources aren't communicating and it's not behaving, I like the way that works, and that works for me. So I have continued pursuing Google over the last 5 years, but I have also exposed myself to AWS. But if you ask me what I would say I was a Google Cloud engineer, and I could do others if I needed to. That being said, there's nothing stopping anyone in a similar sort of scenario where they are on a help desk and they see a new technology that might help with a problem that the company is having, making a light proposal. If you know that you're leveraging a tool that's not working well on some legacy software, and you know that a cloud platform offers a better solution and you're able to put together some costs, tests, a POC, you can provide that information. If nothing else, it would give you the experience of actually building real world solutions on a platform. Taking away opportunity, the next thing to consider is availability. Now, this is a really important thing if you're thinking about it being your career in the shorter term. And what I mean by that is that you want to get into it as soon as possible. I've already mentioned that AWS own a large portion of everything that's going on, and that's very true for the job market as well. It is heavily reflected on the available jobs where they are requiring AWS certificates or AWS knowledge versus Azure and Google. Based on some research I've done and a little assistance from AI, the job market is completely overrun by AWS. It's not surprising at all, with AWS having around 12,000 plus jobs available for the US and the UK. Azure around 10 to 12,000, so not quite as many, but still an awful amount. And following that, Google Cloud, roughly about 7,000 jobs. These are both UK and US on some quick research I did searching online. That's a very strong indication into whether or not you're going to get a job in the platform that you want. It is a difficult market right now. I will do a separate video about that, as I've recently been in the job market myself looking for a new job, and I have been also looking for a job in Google Cloud. And I tell you, I was looking in Canada and I probably found 5 jobs that were working on the Google Cloud platform, like solely or primarily. A lot of places now aren't actually only on one cloud platform, they're multi-cloud. 5 jobs out of maybe 200 to 300 that I applied for. So just to give you a rough idea of what it was like, that's out of 200 or 300 jobs I applied for, about 5 or 6 were primarily on Google Cloud. I love Google Cloud, but the adoption rate is still not that high, comparatively speaking. So given them 2 points that I've raised, the availability and opportunity, the last thing is purely personal preference. Just, each service offers a free tier. You sign up with Google Cloud, you get free credits. AWS has free tier services, and Azure, I'm going to make a punt, I think they've got free tier services. I will have a look, I'll check. Actually, let's just do it now. Does Azure offer a free tier? Okay, yeah, so it looks like Azure offers a free account, and on that free account there's a similar sort of like popular services but low level resources that you can use. Yeah, you get a free account with 200 US credit. So that's not too bad. So I mean, that's every platform. You can sign up for a free account, and every platform they'll give you some sort of credit to be able to actually test these resources. And I would say get involved, find a project, simple like hosting, static web page, and just see how you like it, see how you interact with it. Some of the strong differences are around the resources names. AWS's names blow my mind because they just do. They have some really interesting names, but it's a popular service. IAM permissions, so individual user permissions are managed differently. The way in which the hierarchical folder structure, project structure is different. The list goes on. I could go on, and then don't even get me started about how it then differs with the Terraform interaction with each platform. For example, Google Cloud, you have to enable all the APIs beforehand, or all the APIs you're going to use beforehand before you can start using these resources. That's just a Google quirk, and it requires an additional bit of work in Terraform. Doesn't bother me much, but it is something to be aware of. Final thought on which cloud service and which cloud provider to pick would be resources. Like anything, the more popular something is, the more availability and resources there is for it. You buy a popular car, you're going to have loads of parts to replace it. You pick a popular service that everybody's using, you're going to have a lot of people giving resources for educational purposes, equally troubleshooting and debugging. There has been occasions where on Google I've found some very niche bug or very niche problem error that I'm trying to resolve, and because the market is just less, there is less documentation, less reference and Stack Overflow. But you go for somewhere like AWS, thousands of forums, thousands of resources for educational purposes, availability, opportunity, and resources. You take them into consideration and see where you land. Let me know in the comments which one you kind of lean towards, which kind of cloud platform you think you're going to use, and let me know why. I'd be interested to know why you pick that platform. If, like me, you just like the UI and you like the way it handles permissions, or if you like the fact that Azure is Microsoft and you just like the Microsoft ecosystem. It would be interesting to know. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.